Good morning. Morning, everyone. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'd like to call the Board of Commissioners with the Forest Preserve District of Will County to order at 9:31 a.m. Margaret Tyson, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Gretchen Fritz, please.
Yes, stay standing. God, thank you so much for bringing us all safely here today. Please put your hand on those who are not here with us. And we ask that you would cover our meeting, that you would season our words with salt, and that all of the things that are said and done here today are within your will. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, ladies. Can we have a roll call, please?
Good morning. Newquist. Here. Ogalla.
Here.
Cook. Mustis. Here. Mitchell. Here. Tyson. Here. Gazanfer. Here. Trainier. Present. Fritz.
Present.
Mueller.
Here.
Gould.
Here.
Ballach.
Here.
Frizzalum.
Here.
Winfrey. Here. Brooks.
Here.
Parker. Here. Ventura. Coleman. Here. Markham. Berkowitz. Here. Cowan. Here. Pretzel.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Freeman is present. Corlitis. Here. And President Van Dyne.
Here.
You have 24.
24 are present. We do have a quorum. Presentation of certificate of mailing and certificate of publication has been signed and filed. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes of March 10th, 2022.
Motion.
Roll call.
Newquist.
Yes.
Ogalla.
Yes.
Cook. Mustis. Mitchell. Tyson. Gazanfer. Trainier. Fritz.
Yes.
Mueller. Gould. Ballach. Frizzalum. Winfrey. Brooks. Parker. Ventura. Coleman. Markham. Berkowitz. Cowan. Pretzel. Weigel. Freeman is a yes. Corlitis. And President Van Dyne.
Yes.
Again, you have 24. And I have to say, it's so wonderful having roll call go that fast.
All right, treasurer's report. Tyler Markham is not here this morning, so we're going to turn it over to Lisa Lukasevich. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning. Before the treasurer's report is placed on file, I have a few brief comments to make. For revenues, the March 31st, 2022 operating statements indicate the district's corporate fund has collected $446,061 in total revenues, which includes approximately $300,072 in replacement taxes and nearly $100,413 in license and permit fees, while the remaining balance is attributable to other miscellaneous income. And for expenditures, the district has incurred approximately $3.87 million of expenditures for the period ended March 31st, 2022. Of the total expenditures, approximately $2.06 million are personnel costs. The district has experienced a net operating loss of just over $3.42 million year-to-date, including the budgeted transfer to the OPEB Retiree Health Insurance Trust Fund.
Any discussion? Previous roll? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Is there anyone opposed? Motion will carry. Does that conclude your report? Yes. All right, thank you. Do we have any petitions from the public? No petitions from the public. Moving on to Finance Committee, Chairwoman Coleman, good morning.
I need a motion to approve the schedule of bills for $327.92.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And then for new business, I need the approval of resolution number 22-02, authorizing staff to initiate negotiations for one parcel in the South Des Plaines River Resource Area as part of the 2020 through 2024 Capital Improvement Program. And the committee's recommendation was 9-0.
Do you make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Second Mueller.
Previous. Second Brooke.
Any discussion?
I don't have to say Brooke.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries.
We don't have to say Brooke no more, do I? I don't have to say Brooke. Second.
There are two reports. The 2020 through 2024 Capital Improvement Program Status Report, as well as the Government Finance Officers Association Certificate of Achievement Award. And our next meeting is Wednesday, May 4th, 2022, immediately following the Operations Committee meeting, but no earlier than 8:45 a.m. at the Sugar Creek Administration Center at 17540 West Laraway Center in Joliet, Illinois.
Thank you. Gretchen Fritz, question?
Yeah, I just had a comment about the 2020 to 2024 Capital Improvement Program Status Report. On page 7, now, I'm not going to dwell on the other mistakes I found, but on page 7, there is reference Plainfield Township Park District. No such entity exists, actually. It's just Plainfield Park District. Probably only Debbie and Micah know that, but, but you know, obviously, names of governmental entities are precise and important, so thank you.
All right, thank you.
Excuse me, Commissioner, did they legally change their name? Because they were originally the Plainfield Township Park District. So if they've legally changed their name.
I think so, because I looked it up last night and there's no reference to that. I think it's just Plainfield Park District now. I think it takes in both the incorporated and unincorporated areas of
That's
Plainfield.
correct. Yep.
Ralph, do you have any additional comments on these reports?
Sure, if I could. If I could just take a couple of minutes and run through the report that Commissioner Fritz had referenced, the 2020-2024 Capital Improvement Status Report. We were asked to provide this report, and we do it in a different way, but we thought we'd give you a little bit more information. And we broke it out by both the capital development projects as well as the acquisition projects. If you remember, that program is funded, bond funded with a $25 million bond sale. First, on the first page there, you'll see we've completed about $2.1 million in capital improvement projects. Those projects are at Wallen Lake, Isle of Lacache, Waponsie Glacial Trail, Plum Creek Nature Center, and Hamel Woods. We also have about $12.3 million in capital improvement projects currently under construction. That includes the last little bit of cleanup on the Black Road Trail Connection project, the first phase of the Veterans Memorial Trail project, which is running from Spring Creek, the Spring Creek Greenway Trail in New Lenox to 159th Street in Homer Glen. That project is a grant-funded project. It's about $6.9 million. And we also have under construction Four Rivers Environmental Education Center improvements. There's a number of projects that are ongoing out there, both on the interior of the museum as well as the exterior. We have about $3.6 million in projects currently in engineering. Those include an extension of the Plum Creek Greenway Trail out on the east side of the county, the second phase of the Lake Shamanwood project, which also is, it's a donor-funded project, or partially donor-funded, and Rock Run Greenway Trail improvements along Essington Road in Joliet. One project which we have not yet initiated, which is a pending project, that involves Joliet Prison East. If you remember back when we discussed the program, we would not move forward until we were able to secure the land in some long-term agreement, either with the state or with whomever the ultimate owner of the property was. We also had expressed an interest in being the owner of that property. Under trail connections, upgrades, and enhancements, these are typically bridge replacements, culvert replacements, large-scale capital improvements on our trail systems. We've completed 3, but a number of those are also in engineering right now. We have about $1 million set aside for building enhancements and upgrades. We've completed a couple at Plum Creek Nature Center, and we have one under construction, almost complete right now, at our operations and law enforcement facility. We've decided to hold back on a couple of other projects there. Steel prices, you probably know this, but a lot of commodity prices are kind of going through the roof right now. Steel buildings are one of those. These next 2 structures are steel buildings, so we're going to wait it out for a year and see if those prices either stabilize or come back down. We have also a number of bridge, parking lot, and trail renovation projects. These, again, are also, many of them involve bridges or large-scale expansions of existing parking areas or trails. And we have a number of projects currently in habitat restoration that are funded through this program. One at Prairie Bluff and Crest Hill, another at Forked Creek in the Braidwood and Wilmington area, and then Kankakee Sands, which is also in that same area. All of those funds or projects are in process. The dollars are set aside. Restoration typically takes us 5 years from the initial planting through quality establishment of the plant communities. And then lastly, I just wanted to touch on our land preservation program. We've made quite some strides there. Through January of this year, we had closed on 1,518 acres, which brought the Forest Preserve's total acreage under management to just over 23,000 acres. We spent about $8.15 million with another $800,000 in pending acquisitions in various places in the county, including Black Walnut Preserve in the University Park area, as well as Hadley Valley Preserve in Homer Glen. Completed acquisitions, we all know about the Hidden Oaks Nature Center and Hidden Lakes Trout Farm, but we also made some significant acquisitions in the Forked Creek Preserve, closing a large gap in that preserve. In the Hadley Valley, also closing a gap between it and Messenger Marsh. Established a second node in the Jackson Creek Greenway and the Jackson Creek Preserve, and then made some acquisitions in the Plum Valley and Moeller Woods area. One of the things that I quickly had asked you to just remember at our committee meeting when we introduced this was that last page in the grants and partnerships page, because to date we've raised $15.4 million to match that $25 million in grants and partnerships. So some of those grants are through federal programs funneled through the state of Illinois, through the Department of Transportation, or through CMAP. We've also received donations or partnership through the Village of Homer Glen and the City of Lockport, as well as donations from the Nature Foundation, from J.D. Power, and from the Dollinger family to support one of their projects. We also received donations from private corporations, Enbridge and TKT Properties. So we always try to obviously match any dollars, any of our local tax dollars with grant dollars when they're available for our projects. And so I think to date, we've made some real progress in that as well. So that was all I wanted to say about that.
All right, thank you. Julie?
Thanks, Joe. So Ralph, you didn't mention the extension of the trail along Weber Road there, adjacent to Wayland Lake. Any change in the status of that or any particular time frame that we can count on?
The project isn't included in that program. What we're doing right now is trying to identify the Phase 1 engineering and the costs for Phase 1 engineering. We've made some requests to the county to assist with that, and those are, I'm told, under consideration. So once we identify the Phase 1 engineering cost, all of those federal programs that I talked about that are funneled through the state or through CMAP require that we complete Phase 1 locally, and then that opens the door to those funding streams. So I would suspect that we'll identify that funding within this next year. We can certainly include it in our budget discussions for 2023.
Maybe by next summer, we might be able to count on that or anticipate that?
Yeah, I think identifying the funding first is key, and I think we'll be able to do that this year.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions, comments? I see none. Okay. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Ralph. Moving on, Operations Committee, Chairwoman Winfrey, good morning.
Good morning, excuse me. Good morning, Mr. President, fellow board members. For the Operations Committee, the first order of business is an award of contract in the amount of $28,800 to White & Company for architectural services at Hidden Oaks Nature Center, and I so move.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Next is the award of contract in the amount of $185,576.80 to deconstruction of Coal City for the Veterans Woods Trail Bridge replacement, and I so move.
And we do have a second. Any discussion? Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries.
We have the award of contract in the amount of $281,134.15 to PT Farrell for the replacement of the old Plank Road Trail Bridge over Jackson Branch, and I so move.
Discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And we have award of contract in the amount of $35,000 to Skybirch Consulting for professional information technology engineering services, and I so move.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next is the award of contract for $67,200 to Unimax Management Corporation for the janitorial services at Isle Al-Akash Museum, Sugar Creek Admin Center, Operations and Law Enforcement Facility, the Four Rivers Environmental Education Center, and Hidden Oaks Nature Center for a one-year term beginning May 1st of this year, and I so move.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And we have approval of Resolution 2203, authorizing amendments to license number 1918 and 1919 with the City of Joliet regarding the Hubolt Road Improvement Project, and I so move.
Discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And then provide direction on the creation of a shared community engagement and partnership coordinator and executive director of the Nature Foundation of Will County, and I so move.
Discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
We have a number of reports for your review. Ralph, were there any comments to be made on any of them?
Yes, I would like to speak on the permit summary and facility preserve usage visitation report. So annually, at the end of the year, we tally up where we stand with permit summaries and visitation throughout the Forest Preserve District. We have 5 visitors facilities. That's primarily where we're gathering our information. You all know about Four Rivers, Isle-of-la-Cache, Moni Reservoir, Plum Creek Nature Center, and our Sugar Creek Administration Center. What I did want to say was that in 2021, we saw 81,000 visitors at our 5 facilities, which was an increase of 28,200 over 2020. We understand that 2020 was kind of a different year for us all, and our facilities were closed for a good portion of that as well. So in comparison to our 2019 numbers, we're just a little bit shy of those at 87,000. We held 13 events and exhibitions in 2021. We attracted 15,000 visitors, which was, again, an increase over 2020. Programs such as Eagle Watch, Migration Celebration, Pelican Watch, our pollinator exhibitions, the Endangered Species Quilt Exhibition, and Island Showcase are just some examples of those programs that we were able to provide. Our public program attendance, which the public programs are things like kayaking, pollinators, gardening, night hikes, bird hikes, campfires, exploratory hikes, whenever we try to bring in the public in small groups into our preserves. We saw an increase of about 7,000 there to 17,000 attendees last year. Overall, our revenue increased $31,000 in comparison to 2020, and 135,000 of that was attributable to Moni Reservoir, 82,000 of that was attributed to Moni Reservoir, and another 35,000 in rentals at our Four Rivers Environmental Education Center. We had to cancel a number of those rentals in 2021 still, and we did have some pretty severe limitations on those programs as well. So our numbers are trending higher in 2022 so far. In permitted recreational activities, we saw a marked increase as well. Now, permitted recreational activities are things such as our day camps or research projects, volunteer outreach, non-district events. So that's when someone comes to us and wants to run a 5K through the Forest Preserve. We issue them a permit to do those activities, as well as camping, picnicking, and dog park permits. We saw a significant increase over 2020. Again, a lot of that due to just the fact 2020 was kind of a outlier year for us, but we had $216,000 in revenue there. So overall, throughout all of our programs and our permits and things, we interacted with nearly 140,000 people in 2021, which is a good number. We've set a benchmark. Our goal is to serve and interact with 200,000 annual visitors. Again, we hope to gradually work up to that number, and with the addition of the Hidden Oaks, I'm sure that we will be able to get much closer to that number in the future.
Thank you, Ralph. This committee will meet again on May 4th at 8:30 at the Sugar Creek Admin Center. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Moving on, Ad Hoc Committee, Chairwoman Tyson, good morning.
Good morning, President, and everyone else in attendance. I have nothing to report today, but hopefully next time I will.
Thank you. We have no executive session this morning. Is there any comments by the public? No comments by the public?
Yeah, there are none online.
All right, thank you. Comments by Executive Director?
Yes, thank you. So I'll put my microphone on. So last month, we talked about going slowly through our annual report and focusing on one of our guiding principles each month for the next 6 months. We provided some highlights: 1,060 acres preserved, 22,985 acres in the county as of December 31. 39,000 people served through our education programs, and so on. We also talked specifically about staying true to our purpose, and our purpose is embedded in our mission. And that mission is that the Forest Preserve protects and enhances Will County's natural and cultural resources for the benefit of current and future generations. Our guiding principles we laid out, again, touching on staying true to the purpose or the mission of the organization, being good stewards, connecting people to nature, focusing on wellness, working with others, and promoting sustainability. We talked about it in relation to how we connect with our community and how we connect with individuals and how we see this as a connection continuum. And the first step is making folks aware of their Forest Preserve District that's there to serve them, that's paid for by them. We build curiosity with that individual. We make a connection. They become engaged, and ultimately they become advocates for the Forest Preserve District. So we meet people along that continuum all the time. And again, for us, our goal is to first make them aware that we're there and what we do, and then to move them along that continuum. So being a good steward is the principle that I'd like to touch on today. And stewardship is very important to us because, again, inherent in our mission is preserving and protecting for present and future generations. And the idea of stewardship is taking care of what you have in a manner that you're passing it along in an equal or better value than when you received it. So we have a pretty healthy balance sheet. We've talked about that before. The Forest Preserve District on paper has a value of about $420 million. The vast majority of that is our land. It's land that's been paid for by the citizens of this county, set aside by the citizens of this county. We're charged with managing it in the best way that we can for the purposes that they've laid out for us. To give you just a little bit of a reference, that $420 million in the 20-year span from 2000 to 2020, nearly $250 million was invested by folks in the Forest Preserve District of Will County. That's taxpayers, that's grant funds, that's whatever cobbled together. But that's a pretty significant investment that we're charged with managing. So managing land is very important to us. We have a conservation department, we have maintenance and operations department, but we also have people who are trying to get folks onto the land and managing it in the best way that we can, again, to pass it along in an equal to or better condition than when we received it. So we do that with commitments to restoration. In 2021, we conducted stewardship activities on more than 6,200 of our acres. Not all Forest Preserve land is actively managed. Some of it is what we consider unmanaged landscapes, so nature is left to take its course. And we're trying to protect the most significant and diverse areas of the county from a natural community perspective. We also do that with prescribed fire. Prescribed fire was a natural occurrence and was present as our habitats evolved over time. We stifled fire for a variety of reasons, but by reintroducing fire into the landscape, we're able to restore those landscapes. In 2021, we completed prescribed fires on 2,100 acres at 58 separate burn units across the county. Invasive species control is also important. Invasive species are typically non-native species, but they can be native species as well. But not all non-native species are invasive species. So there's a small subset of species that we work to control in our woodlands and in our prairies, again, to manage as best we can the diversity of those communities. More than 6,200 hours were spent by volunteer staff and contractors on invasive species management on 3,300 acres across the county. We also have a program of native seed collection where we collect seeds on our sites and nearby sites to use in the restoration of our sites. Last year, 470 pounds of seed from 292 different plant species were collected and redistributed throughout the county in various forest preserves. Research is also a big component of stewardship, understanding exactly what's going on our properties so we can alter our management protocol accordingly, and again, preserve what's there, protect, and perhaps restore and restock species that aren't present, but that were present. And so we engage with science-based research, which again informs our best practices and policies. So we did grassland bird studies. We were engaged in wading bird studies. We did aerial surveys of deer. We monitored 24 populations of rare plant species at 14 preserves. We also conducted small mammal studies for the effectiveness of different sapling protection measures. So as we go on to restore, the last thing we want to do is basically lay everything out in a buffet for all these little small critters to come and munch away. So we do enclosures and we do studies to see what's the best way in which we can proceed with those kinds of woody and woodland restoration. And a big part of what we do on about 3,500 acres in the Forest Preserve District is engage in regenerative agriculture. Again, it's a very important practice for us, managing lands in the best way that we can for our residents and for the land itself. What regenerative agriculture allows us to do is to prepare the soil, protect and prepare the soil. The soil is everything to us, and the better we can protect that, the easier it is for us to restore areas in the future. So we've gradually, well, not really gradually, over a course of a couple of years, transitioned all of our farms into regenerative ag or conservation practices. In 2021, we approved the first organic farm license on 147 acres in Jackson Creek, and we started growing cover crops, so non-seasonal crops, cover crops on a few of our farms as well. And we've established prairie strips in other farms. All of these are tools that are available to us to enhance diversity, protect the soil, protect it from erosion, and also protect the soil and utilize the soil for what it can provide to us in protecting our hydrology, in carbon sequestration, and a lot of different, and protecting all of the life that is underground that we don't see every day. The soil is somewhat akin, in my mind, to oceans. We see the ocean and we know that the oceans are full and teeming with life of all different kinds and all different shapes and sizes. Your soil is as well. And if you think about it like that, we're trying to protect those species there because, again, they all play a part in the larger ecosystem. So looking forward into 2022, we're going to restore another 160 acres of our property at Kankakee Sands and Forked Creek Preserve, and also at Hadley Valley in the New Lenox-Homer Glen area. We're going to convert 416 acres of newly acquired ag farmland to conservation farming and regenerative agriculture. We're going to conduct management activities on 11,500 acres. That includes both the regenerative agriculture as well as some of our traditional natural area management, the invasive species control, et cetera. And we're going to initiate the conversion of that 147 acres to be certified organic. So that's a little bit about us and how we exercise that stewardship role of the Forest Preserve District and work and do our best, again, to manage the lands for today's generations and those into the future.
All right, thanks, Ralph, for that presentation. I have a couple questions or comments, starting with Julie.
Thanks, Joe. Ralph, the cover crops, what are they? Are they wheat, grass, and then what do you do with them? And who plants them and harvests them?
So the farmer who is engaged on that site, so the licensee would be responsible for the cover crops. And what they use is, or what they plant is typically up to them. They can plant wheat. And then that's a crop that they can utilize for their purposes. So when they rent or license a Forest Preserve ag field, we provide a set of requirements. So we don't have cover crops on every field, but we do on some. So they apply for or bid on that license with the understanding that they're going to both engage in the installation of cover crops as well as whatever they're farming into it. Typically, yeah.
Annette?
Thanks, Joe. I'm assuming it was the Forest Preserve that just did a controlled burn along 53. Was that last week, this week?
Yes,
It
probably.
was quite a sight, seeing, driving through and seeing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was at, was it at Prairie Bluff or Lockport Prairie? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Saud?
Well, I just wanted to thank Ralph on addressing some concerns of residents of Bolingbrook about the Hidden Oaks and the Hidden Lakes. It was very helpful, and a lot of people in Bolingbrook are concerned about the construction and other work going on, and they're very curious to know. So your email addressed a lot of those questions, and I think there's a lot of interest that they're emailing it to you and they're asking us questions. So thank you again for those.
Sure, you're welcome. And for those who don't know, well, you all remember we purchased the Hidden Oaks and Hidden Lakes. There's a transition period. Bolingbrook operated the facility a certain way. We're going to operate the facility kind of in line with our protocols. And so we're doing our best to just try to ask people to be patient with us. Feel free to ask questions. We have answers most of the time. But just be patient, and we'll get it together. So,
Rachel?
Yeah, I was going to echo what Annette had said about the property on 53. Several people have commented on that, wanting to know what happened with the burn. So if you could send us some more information, it'd be good for us to get information out just for the district area for that. And then I want to really celebrate the fact that we're moving into regenerative farming. I know that Judy worked hard to get the no-till policy in the past, and then moving towards cover crops is really the next step of that. So it's really exciting to see that. I'm excited about our organic farm here, and I hope that continues to grow. And then I'll add one suggestion, because I'm always full of ideas, is that I would love to see maybe even just one day event that the Forest Preserve offer maybe these farmers to come if they're producing vegetables outside of corn and soy, and sell it to our residents if they want. I mean, it'd be a better price for the farmer, obviously, so maybe like a one-day farmer's market that the Forest Preserve would maybe host. And then maybe don't have the host fee for the farmers. They could participate for free so they could get more profit, but then residents in the area could eat locally and celebrate the farms and what they're doing, including the organic and non-organic farmers. Does that make sense? It does. Okay, thanks.
we'll pass that along. But along those lines, I'm kind of excited. You're familiar with the organization Chicago Wilderness. They are working through a series of goals right now, setting up the future of what the Chicago Wilderness is, and one of them has to do with agriculture, because they recognize that a lot of the Chicago Wilderness landscape is covered with agriculture. And Will County and Will County Forest Preserve are a highlight of a field trip of the Regenerative Agriculture Working Group for Chicago Wilderness. So we will be bringing in about 50 professionals from across the wilderness region to our site, or to several of our sites later on this summer. So that's kind of exciting.
Jackie?
I said this in an email to Ralph, but I do want to kind of mention it at the full board as well. Hidden Lakes is a place where many in our community go to fish. And you may know fishermen don't start at 8 in the morning. They start a bit earlier. And I know we're on the rotation schedule right now that it opens at 8, but I just wanted to beg and plead that perhaps we could figure out some alternative solution. Not so much in the winter, because I don't know, I mean, the sun rises later and so forth, but in the summer, I would go down there to walk or run, and I would be there at 6:30 in the morning, and there'd be half a dozen or a dozen people already set up fishing and doing. So, I think we probably need to be creative and come up with an earlier solution, just for the Hidden Lakes part. Not so much, although Wayland is on the other side, but the Hidden Lakes is where they fish.
We've had some discussions internally, and we're looking at some different options, so.
Thank you, Ralph.
Judy?
Thank you. Thanks, Ralph, for mentioning Chicago Wilderness. Chicago Wilderness hired Timothy Brennan. Timothy Brennan used to be part of the Friends of the Forest Preserve, and he's a very dynamic individual, and he's really working to get agriculture acknowledged and also to help with preservation, conservation of farmland. So he is working. That would be a tour that you guys might want to set up. They're also doing another tour with Soil and Water Conservation District. Our farm will be one of them. So look for those things to do. You'll see a lot of the practices that are used to help make sure that the soil and water are held together on the property, that any chemicals put on for production are not leached into the water. So many different things that are being done that weren't done years ago. And I'm glad that we've moved into cover crops. The Forest Preserve's been coming along. When I first started on the board, we weren't doing that. And I know that the staff at the Forest Preserve has done a fabulous job at getting up to speed on all the different conservation practices that our conservation farmers do. And we're doing that now, and I'm really happy because these are just lands we're farming. We may as well farm them in the best way possible. So your staff has done a great job, Ralph. I just want to thank them and you for doing that. And then, like I said, for everyone, if you're interested, pay attention to these farm tours that will be coming up this summer, and you'll be able to take a ride around and see what's going on at these different farming facilities. Thanks.
Great, thank you.
And in addition to that, I just read an email that they're offering commissioners to go and actually plant seeds and then come back and harvest them at the end of the year too. So that might be something that commissioners are interested in.
Oh, yeah.
Julie?
We'll look at that as well.
Rachel?
I think, Julie, that's a great idea. I just wanted to follow up, Joe, with what you said. So the email that we got about from the Farm Bureau for the farms that are not the Forest Preserve farms, but I had a chance to do that, I think 2 years ago, right, the Columbine and plant the seeds, and it's really, really fun. The farmer who takes you out is very knowledgeable and shows you the technology of the combines and how really things have just changed astronomically in farming. So if you have a chance to go on one of those tours, I highly suggest it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Let's move on to comments by commissioners. Do we have any comments by commissioners? Mimi?
Good morning. I just wanted to let everyone know next week at, this is kind of a sneak peek preview, but next week at the county board meeting, we'll be honoring the Conservation Foundation, which is celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. The Conservation Foundation is housed in mine and Julie's district. That's their home, but they operate in a number of counties, including Will County, DuPage County, Kane, Kendall, the whole kind of Collar County area. And they're really an important organization that helps with conservation issues and supports our Forest Preserve and our initiatives. So in addition to officially recognizing them next week at our county board meeting with a resolution, I wanted to take this opportunity to say congratulations on behalf of the Forest Preserve as well to 50 years of conservation. on behalf of the Conservation Foundation.
Thank you. Any other comments? Rachel?
I just want to remind everyone that the native plant sale is going on for the Nature Foundation, and we've sold, I don't have the exact number, but a lot of plants. We've raised a lot of money. It's very, very exciting. So there is still time to get your native plants, but we're selling out quickly. So I think there's a postcard that you've been given. Please share that with your constituents in the area as well. I think the Nature Foundation is doing a fantastic job.
And if you can't get your plants online, we do have a pop-up sale the day of pickup, so we'll have all of those same species available, but in a much more limited quantity, so.
All right, anyone else? Seeing none. Appointments and comments by president. We have, with permission, a request to hire an interpretive naturalist at Isle of Lakash Museum, Ms. Jenna Krukowski. Looking for a motion. Any discussion? Is there any, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Are there any objections? All right, motion carries. And also, looking for a motion, the request to hire an interpretive naturalist at Plum Creek Nature Center. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion will carry. Thank you, everyone. There are no presentations of awards this morning, so looking for a motion to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.